Make no mistake, ladies. It's him realizing that no matter what he says, you're not really listening.
Beat down the self-esteem of all women collectively so that we have no choice but to lower our standards and accept your low effort.
What kind of world do we live in where a normal, regular girl cannot find just a regular guy out here?
Always ask me, what happened to men today? A lot of men are terrified of women.
Men ain't approaching no more, you know what I'm saying? Dating sucks. And honestly, my wallet loves this.
Men, and they want to start talking about general. No, but I'll talk to women, and women say, name that. Let's start calling out men for the conversations that they're not having with women. You know when men be like, oh, women is always like, and women is like, name them. Name the women that you're talking to. Because a lot of y'all are getting your general information from the internet, and that is not real. Okay? So from now on, when y'all are having conversations with men, and they want to start talking about general, no, but I'll talk to women, and women say, name them. 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 I want names. I don't want to hear, oh, this girl and my, I want her name. I want her name. Because you guys are not talking to women. You're generalizing a bunch of shit. And you're running around in the world talking about, no, but women be saying that. Who? Who is saying it? I want her name right now. Name them.
Well, I think I can name one. I don't know your name, but I'll say her video is men are not talking to women. The silence is deafening. Why is it deafening? Because men are silent and they're screaming, right? No. You like that title, right? The tables turned quietly. Men walked away from dating. Look what the silence is doing. I said it before. When men go silent, this happens. And I showed it in my last video. Ladies, welcome to your future. Now, what's happening? You got 3 ladies lining up for chat. They're already doing that anyway, right? Actually, I showed that in the last 3 or 4 videos. Lining up for Mr. 6'8". Men don't have to see that on the internet. There's experiments done. Yeah, it's on the internet. But you ladies all want the same thing. You all want the same guy. It's happening.
Average at best and below average. Like on a bad day, I don't think it's that crazy for men to say things like, I'm afraid of approaching women. Just be like, based on the fact that approaching is difficult. Like you have to put your ego on the line. Somebody could be recording you. Your rejection could get posted, and they could reject you in a really mean way, especially if they're recording you, and you're not aware. But also, it's just hard to know when you're supposed to approach. Like, how are you supposed to know when somebody's open to receiving like that sort of attention? And you might say, oh, with body language, but it's like, are you supposed to look at them first? And how are you supposed to look at them to indicate that that's something that you're trying to do? You know, I feel like it's hard, it's difficult, and it's scary. And those are all reasons why I don't approach men. Like, I think it's just hard. I don't know, but you guys can let me know your thoughts on this.
Well, actually, I don't expect most of you to approach men. I say it all the time. But if you're not getting approached, you got to do something, right? But I got to say this, because I know you're struggling. The last lady was screaming to the top of her lungs. And you are very honest. You understand your average at best. The last lady is screaming like she's the cat's meow and she's the pig's. Ah! Let's move on.
Couldn't agree more.
Is actually very deadly. So don't mistake it for weakness like he has nothing to say. Make no mistake, ladies. Nah. He's probably just gotten to a point where he no longer sees you as someone worth explaining himself to because he's lost respect for the entire situation. See, a lot of times women think that men go quiet because they're trying to be cold or manipulative. But a lot of times, that's not the truth. It's him realizing that no matter what he says, you're not really listening. You're just waiting to respond. So it's not about control. It's about protecting his peace. Because after a while, he learns that arguing kills his focus, drains his energy, and steals the very calm he needs to stay grounded. That's called growth. It's what happens when a man finally understands that peace is better than proving a point. You know, sometimes there's the exception when he's quiet simply because, you know what? He's sparing you. Because if he really said what's on his mind, it might cut too deep. And you know what? That's mercy, not fear. So yeah, a man's silence is very dangerous, especially for the person who has become comfortable with ignoring his words. Because the truth is, when that man stops talking, it's because he's probably done. He's done trying, and he's done with you.
YouTubers yesterday, Maya Galore, and she does all things beauty, lifestyle, fashion, that kind of stuff, right? In her vlog, she talked about how she feels the men of this generation are just scared to approach her. Obviously she's successful. She presents herself very classy, very rich, luxury. That's the aesthetic that she has. And she recently went out with her friend. I think they went to some bar to like watch a football game or something, and she noticed so many men were staring at her, but none of them were bold enough to actually come over and approach her or come over and talk. I think the only guy, she said, that was bold enough to do something was like trying to summon her. So he made eye contact, and I think he was like gesturing her to come over, but she doesn't respond to that. But for the girls on here, do y'all relate to that? Do y'all ever feel like men are just afraid to approach you? Men are afraid to actually make a move. It's like, you know, they're staring, but they're just not bold enough to talk to you. And I definitely relate to that, because when I think back on the last, let's say 2-3 years, men just don't approach. And you could say, oh, well, maybe they just don't find you attractive. But like she said, sometimes you see them staring. It's like you see them staring, making constant eye contact with you. But it's like they're just not afraid to. I don't know. What's the cause of that? Are men intimidated? Because again, she does carry herself very rich, very well put together. Are they just intimidated by us? Or are they just shy? Do they just lack initiative? Like, do we just have a generation of men that don't take initiative anymore?
Those days are over.
What's going on?
I think about what you said when you said she likes to dress up. And to me, it seems like she dresses up like she's high and mighty. And that's a number one no-no for most men, right? Men look at a girl like that and think expensive. That's what they think automatically. They don't want the bill. Because what happens? Ladies get with the guy and expect him to pay for dinners, pay for dates, while she stuffs her money in her pocket. So he's thinking, I know every once in a while, I'm going to have to buy some shoes. And it may not be expensive. Yes, I must say that. But a man, it's not you. He can't look at you. Some men can, but he can't look at you and say, oh, those shoes are from Payless. Especially if they got some suede on them, they look nice. You know, he may think you got them from, Gucci. Of course not Gucci. Everybody knows Gucci. But you get what I'm saying. A man doesn't know. So therefore, a man won't go and approach you.
Welcome to your future.
Guys, men used to go to war and now they look at you weird when you approach them at the bar because all they did was stand around and stare at the wall all night.
Serious question for my mans out there. Why are you guys not approaching women? What is that about?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
What is that about? I have seen so many hot guys lately, and we make eyes, we exchange the look, we have the look, and then there's nothing else. I'm like, are you gonna come approach me?
Nope.
Hello, I don't want to be the one to approach you, okay? Because that's not my man's. My man's has, you know, the balls that he has, and he's not afraid to come up to me and say something, say hello. So if you're a man out there, you know, you guys have balls for a reason. Use them. And don't be afraid to approach women, because we don't want to do that.
In front of me because she didn't get asked out for 2 years. Literally. Is this happening to you? She went out, guys would look at her, they would stare, but they would never actually ask her out. She was on the dating apps, but the guys tried to sleep with her too quick. They couldn't hold a conversation. They ghosted her. They acted like a pen pal. And the few guys she went on a date with, when they opened their mouth, she wished she stayed home and watched her favorite TV show instead. If that sounds like you, I've got something that's going to help you right now. I've got a free masterclass that goes over the 3 reasons women don't get asked out by men in real life anymore. I go over why dating apps are one of the worst ways to meet a great guy. And most importantly, I give you a couple simple steps so you can go out there starting today.
Make your money, bro.
Right near where you live, right off the dating apps. All you got to do to
Make
sign
that
up
money.
is go right underneath my profile or go to freetraining.rgpdatingmethod.com. Don't wait.
Hurry up and buy.
Sign up right now. I've only got a couple time slots available each
Are
day.
you trying to train
and I'll
guys?
see you on the inside.
Was he trying to train guys? I thought he said woman. Because that's who you should be trying to train. Because guys aren't hearing it. Was he trying to train guys? I didn't really listen to the video. I'm not sure. But if he was, this is why. Guys won't walk down that tree.
I'm not the same guy.
Go.
I don't like her.
I'm not.
Hey,
in a way.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking. You're gorgeous. I'm just letting you know you're gorgeous.
Girls swear that they want men to approach, and then they act like this. Sometimes they are the ones keeping themselves and everyone around them single. Literally nobody wants to deal with energy like that. And look, guys aren't perfect. Clearly this was not the best time, but if it was another dude who's tired of dating apps and tired of feeling lonely, finally worked up the courage to put himself out there, and this is the kind of reaction he got, that is probably his first and last time ever doing that. And the funny part is, I wasn't even talking to her. I was trying to compliment her friend in the back, and she jumps in, starts screaming and making a scene. Classic fridge protecting the snacks. So yeah, you can keep talking about why don't men approach us anymore? But when you act like this, you create the exact reality that you complain about. So when you're sitting in your 30s and thinking, where have all the good men gone? Rewind this clip and you'll have your answer.
Yes, you are the problem.
Women are upset that men aren't approaching them in public anymore.
No. In fact, I would like all men, except for my husband, of course, to stay away from me and learn to shut the...
Women be saying that. Who? Who is saying it? I want her name.
Ladies like this should just stay off the internet. Like, seriously, you're married. So you're trying to deter guys from talking to ladies and you're married? I'm sure most of them wouldn't appreciate this, right? They're struggling. They can't get anyone right now. And then you're talking like this. What's going to happen is guys will take what you said. Actually, I say this. As a man, she put up her finger saying she's married. Don't take what she said personal, right? Because she's out of the game. She's just one of those ladies who's stuck on feminism. Her man is probably a feminist, not digging her back out. You guys already know. A sad sap, right? Still sad, still trying to make you sad, makes her husband sad every day. I feel sorry for you, brother. I feel very sorry.
What kind of world do we live in where a normal, regular girl cannot find just a regular guy out here to date? Because these guys don't want a real woman. They want a fantasy. They want to live in this fake fantasy world. They would rather jack off to some screen, to some robot, rather than actually deal with a real human being and what comes with that. You know why? Because it's easier. And I am done. I'm done.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Stop telling me to go meet someone in the wild when I go in the wild and someone will be staring at me the whole entire night and won't come say hi. How many more times is that going to happen?
Welcome to the new world.
How many more times am I going to be in the bar, playing pool, at the coffee shop, on a walk, and I will be staring down another person who is staring me down, smiling across the table, whatever, and you don't come say hi? Oh my gosh. What am I meant to do, you guys? Am I gonna have, like, we always have to make the first move or something? Because, like, oh my.
So go watch Tinks's video. I'll link it below. But what this says is that 45% of men aged 18 to 25 have never asked a woman out in person. All right, hopefully you watched her video, because what she's saying is that that's bad, right? That 45% of men, young men, aren't asking girls out. And what's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen with AI chatbots? The fact that ChatGPT is now going to allow adult content on its platform. Like, that's bad, right? And I listened to a podcast this week with Scott Galloway, pearl clutching over the fact that, oh my God, ChatGPT is now going to be interactive with adult content. And what's so dumb, what's so goddamn stupid about all of this is that the reason boys, young men, 18 to 25, aren't asking women out in the first place is because of the adult content they already consume. This problem is not in the future. This problem is now. You are seeing the result of smartphones that are jammed, packed with endless, free, adult content. These boys who are now 18 to 25 have been watching adult movies since they were 8, 9, 10 years old. They were so raised on it and so impacted by it that they don't even bother to ask girls out. Why would they? They have all the tits and ass they want in the palm of their hands. I have written articles on this. I have made a bunch of videos on this. I have been talking about this for years now. And what's even more wild is that on this podcast where Scott Galloway was talking about it, he said it's age gated. He says that adult content online is age gated just like gambling and just like cigarettes and alcohol. What internet are you using, Scott? Because I'll tell you what, I could hand my phone to a toddler right now and they could type in boobies and see every size and flavor imaginable. I don't know what the you're talking about, okay? But this problem, these young men who have jerked themselves out of existence for the most part, these young men who don't have the mojo to ask a girl out, they don't have the mojo to get out of the basement, they don't have the mojo to go to school or get a job. These young men got this way because in 2008, we decided to jam all earthly delights into a palm-sized device that they could take into their bedroom and they could take into their bathroom. Gone were the days of having to sit, in the family computer, at the desk, in the kitchen, or wherever, in front of, God and everyone. right? Maybe you got to see something download over time. Maybe you got to find a Playboy in the woods. Maybe you got to see a VCR tape at, that your friend had or something like that. Instead, it's all in the palm of their hands. And you think that them being able to talk to it is going to make that big of a difference? Like men want to hear a bitch say anything to start with. Okay? So those pearls you're clutching now, they done been clenched. They should have been anyway. For 15 years now. What we are seeing with young men now is the result of free online adult content access. We gave them all crack and walked away. What are you doing to change that?
Actually, a little upset this lady did that, right? She's trying to shame men when ladies, you women, are doing it almost as much. Maybe off maybe 30%, 40%, but still, you're doing it. It's a loneliness epidemic. Okay? I don't know if you're lonely. You may be married. So for you to get on here and shame men, stop it. This is why guys don't talk to you ladies.
With this guy who I think is attractive, has a good vibe. I sent him a DM, I got rejected, but the way that this man communicated and handled the situation was honestly so respectful and kind, which is bare minimum, but we don't really see this a lot with men. And if anything, it made him more attractive to me because I was like, oh, like this was a nice response. And also the fact that he can control lust. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm an attractive woman, I'm an intelligent woman, and the fact that this man was able to respectfully decline because of the fact that he is not looking to date right now, or whatever it might be, maybe he's not attracted to me or doesn't feel the same vibe, so fine. But the way that he handled it was super respectful and no hard feelings. And this is the first time that I've actually been rejected since actively making choices in my dating life and consciously deciding what kind of energy I want in my life, as opposed to just accepting whatever comes my way as a woman. But even then, even though rejection does suck, I've done so much work to become more confident and to be secure within myself that I don't need this man's validation. Like, this doesn't take anything away from me. I am still valuable. I'm still beautiful. I'm still intelligent. Like, it makes me think about all the men who get rejected and lash out and crash out and are violent towards women and are just so mean towards other people because they are so insecure. Like, if you think about how many men you've rejected and have been like, well, you're ugly anyway. And it's like, you must be so insecure, because rejection is not that bad. It just, like, it doesn't, if you're a secure person, it doesn't take anything away from you. And if you genuinely value yourself and you think you're a good person and, you just are secure, then that wouldn't bother you in the way that it didn't bother me. I'm like, so fine, whatever. But the way that men will expose themselves and expose their insecurities and the ways in which that they actually hate themselves, because when they get rejected, they literally become violent towards women. It's actually insane. Insane.
He asked for this. Look what this guy said. You're not intelligent enough to know you're not attractive. He was so right. I'm not going to say she was ugly. Well, she's about a 4. She thought she was higher. I'm just being real. I'm just being honest.
Always ask me, what happened to men today? Great question. What started out as a good thing, encouraging men to respect women, has swung way too far in the opposite direction. Now, a lot of men are terrified of women, so they wait for perfect conditions before making a move. But courage doesn't exist without risk, and women can't respect men who don't risk anything. So as a man, if you want to be seen as confident, you've got to be willing to look stupid, to get rejected, to be misunderstood. So start by taking small risks. Approach women when you're out and about. Initiate plans with them. You'd be surprised how fast it'll work, because women nowadays, they're not turned off by that kind of effort. They're starving for it.
I can hold y'all. Every time I look up, I see something about men ain't approaching no more. You know what I'm saying? Dating sucks. Honestly, my wallet loves this. But I got more money than I never had. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. Keep this rolling, my boy. And I'm at peace. I got more money. My peace of mind back. Do what the I want to do when I want to do it, whenever I want to. I ain't gonna lie. It's the life.
9 out of 10 women will never understand why men can stare into a campfire alone, in quiet, and call it the best night of their life. Her mind demands constant distraction. Babe, let's go to Mykonos. Let's go on a boat. Let's watch Netflix. Vacations, parties, gossip. Anything but silence. Because silence exposes her emptiness. Solitude sharpens men. We call it strength. She calls it boring. After men turn 25 years old, every quiet night by a fire becomes a silent war against demons she'll never see. Women recharge in distractions. Men recharge in solitude.
Solves, like, do you like women? What exactly is the tactic here? To beat down the self-esteem of all women collectively so that we have no choice but to lower our standards and accept your low effort / mediocre love attempts? I never said that men don't approach me when I go out. I was pointing out a pattern of behavior I was seeing at a party that I was at that I feel like is more representative of the average NYC man. Stingy men are a huge ick, so we are immediately not compatible. Reading through the comments in that last video, you guys sound pathetic. Why would any woman date you? Like, being told off rip that you have zero desire to put in the effort to make any romantic connection work. Like, you don't want to show interest by buying a drink. What is wrong with you? Who raised you? Like, why do you think that's a good thing to admit on the internet? Like, why go to parties then? What was the point of getting dressed? That particular party was not free, so why would you pay for a ticket to? As a man hearing these questions, if your mind immediately jumps to, I'm accusing you of being gay, then you just don't have the critical thinking skills required to, like, meaningfully engage in this discussion. Because it goes beyond buying drinks. It really just communicates that in a relationship, you are not willing to do the things that you know will make your partner happy or feel desired. And fear of rejection, like, for real. You know who has a real reason to fear rejection? Women. Like, we can literally die over a man's ego. Get some confidence and figure it out, because insecure men are literally a danger hazard for women. I've had a man literally chase me down the street and try to throw water bottles at my head simply because I didn't respond to a compliment that he gave me.
Do you like women?
Because I was walking down the street with headphones in. That is something to be scared of.
What are men doing wrong?
Oh, a lot. Whether it's the chicken or the egg, the men are not asking women out. Now, the bottom line is we're having a problem post-pandemic where men are not asking women out. I don't know if it's a white man disease right now.
I think it's soy milk.
They're afraid they're going to get, like,
I'll tell you what it is.
canceled.
My experience pre-Lauren, when I was running around my single days, like, we didn't have the apps, and if you saw a woman, you had to go up.
Right. At the bar, the restaurant, the gas station, they used to come up to you at Whole Foods and say, hey, can you help me with this? Is this a good salad dressing?
Yeah, and you had to show you were interested, and you had to say something.
Take their number.
It is harder, I think. And also because
But
of
you
that.
saw what you're getting in person, so you knew that it wasn't a lie
That's
on
true.
the apps.
And because of that, also, I think when you found somebody, you were much more
Interested.
Yeah, you stayed longer.
The
because,
level of interest is higher.
Yeah, and I didn't have 18 other options, right? There was,
If this doesn't work out, I'm going to go to the next one.
Now it's like, hey, I have 15 things. They didn't check one of the things. Let me swipe 18 other times. I'm done with this.
Brothers! What we do in life echoes in eternity. Hold the line. Stay with me. So he's coming.